All righto. We are at lesson 12. The second part of this lesson is still doing division. We're still finding the quotient. Quotient goes with dividing. We have dividends, divisors, and quotients. So read the problem below, then explore a different way to understand the fractions. So I've got Jared, Monica, and Heather, and they have 5 hallways to decorate for student council. Right away in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I've got 5 hallways. There are 3 kids. Let me go on and see if that's right. If they share the work, how much will each student have to decorate? Wow, boom, I see that 3 goes into 5 at least one time. So I know that they all are going to have one hallway. That gets my mind thinking about math. Now I'm going to look down here and I'm going to say, okay, we got to figure out the picture. You can use a rectangle to represent the quotient. Here are 5 hallways. See, here's hallway number 1. Hallway number 2, hallway number 3, hallway number 4, hallway number 5. Let me take those back off. Delete. All right, so if they share the work equally, they each get this hallway, they get a third. 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 And this hallway, they get a third. So if we look at just Jared, he's this peach color. We can say that, well, Jared has 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3. Jared has to do 5/3. That's an improper fraction. 3 goes into 5 one time, and there's 2 left, and that would mean 2/3. So always drawing those pictures to help us. This down here says the same thing. Jared has 1/3, and then there's another one. Oop, there's another one, another one, another one. So he has 1/3 times 5, which equals 5/3. 5 divided by 3. We did that, and we turned it into the fraction, and right there's 1 2/3. Then we can do the number line. You know, the dreaded number line. You can use a number line to represent the quotient. So the total thing that we have to do here is 5 hallways. That's why we went all the way down here to 5, because we have 5 hallways. So there's 1 hallway, 2 hallways, 3 hallway, 4 hallway. So each hallway has 3 sections because we have 3 kids sharing the task. So they said, okay, Jared has to do all of these. Monica has to do all of these. And Heather has to do all of those. So all we did was take 5 hallways, divide each section into 3, and divvy it up equally. So everybody had to do 1 2/3. Okay. Now you will solve the problem from the previous page by thinking about division as equal sharing. Remember, everybody has to have those equal parts. How many thirds of a hallway are there to decorate in the 5 hallways? Well, I probably need to erase my marks from before and go back here. So my 5 hallways, and I divided each one of them into 3 because there are 3 kids. So we're going to count how many sections are there all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So when I go here, how many are there? There are 15. How many thirds of a hallway will each student decorate if the thirds are shared equally? Well, that would be 5 because we know that 3 and 5 are in that friendly triangle. Terrible triangle, but you know what I'm doing. 3, 5, and 15 are friendly numbers. 3 times 5 is 15, so that's how we came up with that. Write a fraction of a hallway. So each student has to do 5 thirds of a hallway. Okay, now here's another way to think about it. How many whole hallways can each student decorate? 1, because there were 5 hallways. So if each one does 1, that leaves me down with 2. How many remain? 2. If 5 hallways are shared equally by 3 students, there will be 1 whole hallway per student and 2 thirds hallway remaining. How many or how much of the 2 remaining halls will each student decorate? 5 hallways divided by 3 students equals 1 and 2 thirds hallway per student. Well, okay, so they're saying don't write it like this yet. And then write this as a mixed, as a mixed number would be 3, 4, 5 thirds. Yes, they are, sorry. 5 thirds is a mixed number. No, that's improper. Forget what I'm doing. 1 student, and then they would have that. They would have 2 hallways left over. If each student, if they had 5 to begin with, I probably all got you confused now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they had the 5 hallways to do. We took out these 3 hallways because we know that they're each getting a whole hallway. So then that leaves this amount right here. And these were divided into thirds. And we had 3 kids doing each one. So that means one of them gets this, one of them gets this, and one of them gets that. That's where I got the 2 thirds down there. Okay, write 2 division equations. One using fractions and one using the mixed numbers to represent the quotient. One using a fraction and one using a mixed number. So we know the mixed number is 1 and 2 thirds, and the fraction is 5 thirds, and it's an improper fraction, but that's how you would write those. And those are equal. Those mean the same thing, but we don't leave proper or improper fractions. How does the bar in a fraction represent division? It's divided into equal groups. Okay? So use what you just learned about the fractions as quotients to solve these problems. So you're going to solve these 2 problems, and then you're going to show it to me and let me see. Did you get it right? It says 5 friends are equally sharing 3 packs of football cards. How much of a pack will each friend get? So if I think about my division, I have 3 packs of cards and I have 5 friends. And they're each going to divide those 3 packs. How much does each person get? Then down here, Mary made 18 ounces of apple chips. She evenly portions the apple chips between 4 containers. So she has 4 containers, and she's going to divide 18 apple chips into those 4 containers. Write a division expression to represent the problem and solve it. Okay, all right.